we'd like to greet our patients. We'd like to greet our community members. We'd like to greet our family members, and now especially our healthcare workers. SAWOPA today is presenting yet again part 2 of cancer, and I'll be touching on leukemia towards the end. My name is Thongs from Zealous Movement, and our passion here at SAWOPA is to empower you with informed knowledge about the health and keeping a healthy, eating balanced life and keeping fit. Food. You know, we enjoy food, you know, and food, more than anything, it's not just nutrition. It is essential for our lives, you know. It's an act of self-care, you know. As I was researching, and I'm thinking, it's something that we do every day. So obviously food needs to make us happy. You know, obviously we need to eat the healthy kind of food, and you want to have a peaceful life. So one has to make a choice that is literally well planned. You know, I think if we take our eating habits and plan our day according to how we plan our meetings, you know, or how you plan what you're going to wear, or how you plan to go on a trip, you know, you do all of those things. So I think food needs some investment timing in it, because that's where you get your energy for the day. Can you imagine that? You know, therefore you need to plan good food. You need to plan well-nourished food, especially when you are sick. Then you go into details, and when you want to when you are taking care of your body, you obviously plan as well. You know, you plan for a day before. If you are working and you're going to work, you plan for what will be your breakfast. Obviously, you plan all of that so that you can be on time to go to work. What are you going to have for breakfast? And at work, what are you going to snack on? What are you going to have for lunch? What are you going to snack on again? And what are you going to have for supper, you know? Or with supper, you can be thinking as you're driving back home that, oh, this is what I can do. And food connects us, you know, with one another. We go out, you know, we celebrate food, we eat food for pleasure at times. So how we become creative with the food, one needs to level up on that, you know, because it's not nice to eat alone, you know. I mean, if you're at work, you eat with your colleagues, and when you dine out, you eat with friends. It could be with family at home, around a table. And it's always most important to eat with people around you, you know, and have food share a meal with people, especially with our patients. They need company, you know. Most of the time they are all by themselves. Please, may I have the first slide? So I really am hoping that today's cancer, it's not only mainly for cancer, but it's just about all the chronic diseases that we do, you know. So why do we eat healthy? We eat healthy because we get side effects, you know, like nausea, diarrhea, taste changes. So we eat healthy so that we can be able to tolerate the kind of food. And when it comes to planning, you need to jot down what you are eating, so that if you are feeling nausea towards after about 2-3 hours, you can go on your journal, your food journal. You become creative. Have a food journal. Write what did you eat, and you could write the portion size, because that makes a big dig, and so that you can go back and check diarrhea. You need to write down everything, so that if you are having diarrhea, you know what is it that you ate. So therefore, you can actually eliminate that or have less of that, and the taste changes. You'll feel that mentally, especially for cancer patients with the with the treatment, you feel that metallic taste. So that as well, because you can eat it today, in another 3-4 days, and then that metallic taste is not there. But when you taste it, you know that, oh, maybe let me not use this cutlery. And when you are cooking, or when somebody's cooking for you, they mustn't use the metallic utensils to use wooden spoon, wooden utensils. It's more better, and we eat because that will help maintain our body weight and our muscle mass, especially when you have done a cancer treatment. You lose the muscles, so that will help you maintain your muscle mass. It increases your energy level. Sometimes you become so fatigued, but when you eat good food, it boosts up your energy level there, and it can help prevent delays or breaks in treatment, So we eat healthy before, during, and after. So it's not a matter of I'm only going to eat healthy after treatment. The kind of food that we are dealing with, these are the foods that are good for your body, and these are whole foods. Again, it's whole foods. We don't want anything that is not a whole food, that can help prevent hospital stays or reduce the time you are in hospital. Sometimes we tend to say hospital food is not good. Guess what? Hospital food is nutritious. So we need to be having that kind, and that is preparing you for when you go home. Those are the kinds of food that you are going to be eating when you go home. So get used to the taste. But when you get home, obviously you'll have a private chef. You can have somebody helping you to prepare meals. Or when you have some energy, when you boosted your energy levels up, you could actually cook for yourself and but remember, I had always mentioned, we don't use salt, we use spices, as in the garlic flakes, as in onion flakes, as in coriander, cumin, dill. We use those kind of spices, not too much of that. And we can use herbs, like we can use fresh corianders, we can use some parsley, we could use some mint in some sweet potato. So you play around the food so that you don't put a lot of salt in it. And a lot of butter. We eliminate butter altogether, and we just use olive oil, because olive oil, it's amazing. It's actually, it can heal cancer, prolong usage of it. And we eat our healthy food for helping us to improve how well you respond, obviously, on your treatment, and how well your treatment can work, So we eat all that because we know that it's good for the body. Please, may I have the next slide? And food safety during treatment and after treatment, it's very critical, because when you are in treatment, you are in a space where if you were to be contaminated with something, it will affect the treatment. So washing of your hands before preparation of food, if you're preparing food, it's very critical. Washing of hands, obviously, before eating, and after eating. You'll find out that you may have touched a little bit. You just be cautious in that. Wash your hands and keep surfaces that come into contact with food extremely clean. We thank COVID, because that has trained us to keep our surfaces very clean. You don't want any bacteria, you don't want anything, you don't want dirty stuff, so that each time when you come into your kitchen, you know that you've got clean surfaces there. Keep hot food hot. So if you are having a hot food, it must be hot. Don't have it cooled down, and you can't warm and then maybe forget about it and reheat again. No, that is not good. It's even for just normal people, that's not good. Keep cold foods cold and below 5 degrees Celsius, and avoid cross-contamination of raw food and vegetables. You know, when we're using the chopping boards, we need to have probably the glass one. It can be for chopping meat, you know, and the wooden one or the plastic one can be for vegetables. Why I say glass? Because glass, it's very easy to clean, whereas with plastic and wood, it could go as you're chopping, the knife is sharp, it could go in between. So please be careful. Do not mix chopping boards when it's meat. Get the meat one separate to the vegetables. And definitely it could be knives as well, you know, obviously the sharper, you know which one you would use for vegetables and for meat as well. And then store raw meat on the lowest shelf to avoid juice contamination of other foods, especially now with what we have in South Africa is load shedding, you know, so therefore the refrigerator becomes the freezer, it can defrost a bit. So you keep the raw meat right at the bottom. So if it were to have spills, it's right there at the bottom and you can just clean it up. Unlike maybe probably you have chopped up some fruits or you've pre-cooked and stored in the freezer, you don't want that falling onto your food. Raw meat, please keep it right at the bottom. Wash your raw fruits and vegetables well before eating at all times. You know, from the market, wash. Before eating, wash at all times. Even if you store a little bit in the fridge, when you take it out, you wash it. Before you put it in, you wash it. We just, we need to be very careful here. We don't want you to be getting sick, especially when you are in treatment. Avoid high-risk food like uncooked eggs, meat, poultry, fish, you know, the fish, especially sushi, you know, those sunny up, not well done eggs. No, that's not for you. The rare cooked meat, no. You don't want that. Everything must be fully cooked for you, and unpasteurized milk and cheese. So you want pasteurized milk right there and cheese. Avoid high-risk food like sushi, as I've said, like caviar, raw beans, you know, and alfalfa sprout, food from street vendors, because we do not know. Remember, we are here, cross-contamination can happen with food vendors. We don't know how, they may be clean, we don't know how clean is clean, you know. And avoid those self-serve buffets. Again, we don't know how they literally thoroughly washed what is there, you know, so we stay away from that. Home cooked meals, those are very important, and those are the ones that you can, I mean, there are services, I do some of the services of I can cook for you and bring it to your door, or I can come and cook at your home, the comfort of your home, you know, I can do that. And then store your frozen meat in the refrigerator and not on the counter, not outside, you know. So if you're gonna eat, say maybe chicken breast, you can take them out today. Hence, I started with planning. If you're gonna eat it on, what's today? Today is Wednesday. So if you're gonna eat it on Friday, you take it out today and put it in the fridge so that you don't take it out tomorrow, or you don't take it out on Friday morning to leave it outside. So we become very strategic when it comes to planning of the food. As I say, self-care right there, very, very critical. And refrigerate food promptly after eating, you know. So after you've cooked, as soon as it cools down, you put it in the fridge, you know. You don't want to put hot meals, or you can just put it on the counter. Sometimes the counter cools it down quicker, not on the stove counter there, and then you put it straight into the fridge. So those are the safety tips for us. May I have another slide, please? Weight loss, weight loss is very common in cancer treatment because of the kind of food that one will feel it doesn't tolerate the body or the treatment, should I say. So we become very careful right here. It is important to prevent weight loss during cancer treatment. And how we do that, it's by eating, again, the whole food. And you will need to be jotting down your food journal. This is where it's very critical. You add a healthy, high calorie additive to the food you eat regularly, avocados. You can have you can have your boiled egg with an avocado. You can have olive oil, as I have mentioned, very, 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 very nutritious. Butter as well, because you want to put on a bit of weight. So what you can do is, when you are probably just grilling or pan frying your chicken breast or your egg, you can use butter. And the nice thing about butter is you don't need to salt, because it has salt on its own. You can go onto your nuts and seeds, and these are the foods that we always talk about. Your sauces and gravies and cheese. Remember, this is when you are wanting to add on weight or just to be stabilizing, not going, you don't want to lose weight. Dried fruits, because they contain natural sugars. Whereas when you want to lose weight, you do not have you do not have any of these stuff. So we become very careful. This is just for when you are struggling with the weight loss. You want to add a little bit of high calories right there. Nut butters, those are your peanut butters, your almond butters, and include a high calorie smoothie or a nutritional drink to your daily routine. I prefer smoothies, because you know what you put in there. And can it not be a smoothie that you get at the shops? Why do I say this? Because it's got already added sugars, it's got already added things, it's got preservatives, and it's refined. We don't want that. Have your own smoothie. How you prepare your own smoothie: you can use some oats. You use oats. You pour some milk, maybe almond milk. You can put whatever fruits that you like. It could be pear, it could be papaya, it could be berries, it could be watermelon. You become very creative. You can put in a huge scoop of peanut butter in there. That will be your nice homemade smoothie that you know what went in there. The high protein there, it's the adding on of the peanut butter. Or you can just create your own smoothie. So you need to have a blender. So if you do not have a blender, invest in a good quality blender, because that blender, you're going to use it even afterwards, because the food that we want you to be eating now, these are the foods that we want you to eat even after. I mean, if it's good for treatment, it's good for after treatment as well. And always aim at eating 5 to 6 small meals daily instead of 3 big meals. So you definitely will get sick, and your energy level won't get so high. Instead, you'll be too full and not even be able to do some exercise for the day. So you wanna plan on how you eat, as I've mentioned earlier on, that you write down your breakfast, your snack, your lunch, your snack, and your dinner. Okay, please, may I have another slide? High protein foods, as I've mentioned, the peanut butter there. So those are the nuts, the seeds, the butter. So these are the kind of, when you want a high protein kind of meal. Your beans right there. Your meat, remember, it must be lean meat. It must be, very lean, fat-free, if there is such a thing. But those steaks, the ones that you can just pan fry, and fish, your poultry. I prefer the chicken breast, you know. They don't contain much of the fat in them. And then eggs, eggs preferably boiled, unless if and watch out not to poach them for because if you're a cancer patient, you don't want the egg yolk not hardened unless you're gonna harden them, so rather that. And oil, remember we've spoken about if you want to gain a bit of weight, you can use butter to fry the eggs. Daily products, we're looking onto, I always say plain yogurt. It's very good for you right there, and some milk there. Plain yogurt. Sweetened contains a lot of sugar in it, and you don't want sugar with you in your diet. So we do plain yogurt. If you want to sweeten it yourself, you just sprinkle some cinnamon in it, you know, you play around with it, and you can put some seeds in it, some pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, those are good seeds, or mixed seeds. So you play around your yogurt if you were used to having flavored yogurt, or you can have that plain yogurt and chop up some strawberries, throw in some blueberries, and you could have with some banana right there, you know. So play around your plain yogurt. It could be high fat, it could be low fat, it could be high fat, low fat. Just don't get fat free. No, we don't want fat free. Okay, please may I have the next slide. And exercise. Oh, exercise. The reason why I want you to prepare a journal is because I want you to know what you are eating. And when you are doing the exercise of the day, perhaps it could be walking, it could be climbing the stairs, it could be probably the day your energy level is high up, you want to do a little bit of cardio in the house, or you could go, as I've mentioned, the gym. Not a must to go to the gym. Home training is even better. You know, we are aiming for that 150 minutes that we've always spoken about, you know. So and again, you want to include cardio, as I've said, and stretching, some resistance training there that will help maintain or increase the muscle mass. Remember, because of the treatment, the muscle, we are now on a mission of increasing your muscle mass. So weight training is very vital. You could get small weight, not a train smash, if you can't even go and buy. I've mentioned that you could use either the 250 mils water or milk, whatever that you've got, can of food that you've got, just to use it up until you develop some strength and go onto a higher one, because we want to get you exercising. Find a partner that will help you. It could be somebody who has gone the same journey as you, or somebody that is going through the same journey as you, or family members at this point in time are the ones that will come all the time for you. But you need to choose and know who are you today, are you gymming with Utabang, and then the other day with the way, to the other day with Odera, the other day with probably either wife or husband, and the other day you call a cousin that comes all the way. So you need to have an exercise body, you know, because it's not nice to exercise alone when you are not even sick. I can just imagine when you are not feeling well, that could be even worse, you know. So you need an exercise body right there, so that you can have somebody. It's nice to have somebody to be talking to, you know, as you are exercising. Even better if somebody that has gone through the journey with you, you know. And let me share on leukemia. So leukemia, It's very critical that you continue to eat well. So in all illnesses, or should I say diseases, eating well is very important. So when you eat well, in leukemia, as I've mentioned, with just any other cancer, eating well will make you feel better, and you will stay stronger. And this will be while you are in treatment and after treatment. Maintain a healthy body weight, because we don't want you to lose weight. As I've been mentioning about weight loss, it happens regularly. But when you eat right now, while you are in treatment and after treatment, so therefore you will maintain the body weight, and then that will help you with the tolerance of the side effects. Amazing what just good nutrition can do to you. That will help you. That will help the body to replace some of the blood cells and tissues that are broken down by treatment. So a healthy lifestyle plays a key role in keeping a body strong, whether it is for any other kind of disease, but in this particular now, I'm talking about leukemia. So again, planning your meals, it's again, it comes up very, very critical, planning ahead and tracking what you will eat, and so that you can stick to those goals that you need to stick on, and always see where diet improvement can be implemented, especially when you're keeping a journal. You can see that, oh, so I had some nice energy level when I had some nuts, So, okay, so maybe I'll have these cashew nuts or these walnuts or these almond nuts, because you could tell, and you listen to your body. It's very important to be mindful of your body. You listen to your body. You listen to the body, and then always see where diet can be improved, as I've mentioned, especially with the dairy products, and then set goals to work on. Either whether that is to gain or to lose weight. Set goals, and then eat better in a healthy way. Controlled portions are very, very vital. I've mentioned about 5 to 6 meals, not 3 huge meals that you are not able to walk. A nutrient dense diet is an abundant in cancer, and it has some protective compounds right there. So you want to eat good food right there. You want to eat and be able to know that I'm eating good food, related food for your body. And we've spoken about exercises and exercises. Walking up and down the stairs, it says it deals with your waist. So we want to get your waist size small. So it says where you carry your weight matters for health. So we want to get your waist down in a way so you continue to have that measuring tape. The more healthy food you eat, the more the centimeters will drop. But obviously you don't want to eat less. We eat whole food right there. And as I've mentioned, even with leukemia, you avoid pasteurized milk and not raw milk. Okay? And then we do vitamin B. It's very critical for leukemia patients. Iron, zinc, and for the folates. So what you get from vitamin B, that's for your red blood cells there, and then iron. Your lentils are very good for your iron, your tofu, and what else? Yeah, it's your beans. It's very good for your for your iron. And You want some vitamin C as well that you will get from your tomatoes, your bell peppers, especially the red bell pepper there. And for your folate, you get your black beans and some spinach right there. Yeah, so when you've got leukemia, it becomes a bit tricky with your vitamin B, you know, vitamin B12. It can't be too much, it can be too less with everything, you know, and be careful not to go for supplements. Supplements cannot supplement the food that we eat. And before you were to think of taking supplements, you know, maybe you walked with your body or you walked with someone who said, this worked for me. What works for one person doesn't work for another person, let alone in cancer or all other chronic diseases. And in real life, what works for one person might not work for me. So the food journal is very critical because you will write all the things before you start supplements or over-the-counter medication. Please consult a doctor. Maybe find out from healthcare workers, your team of doctors that were busy with you, because you don't want to overdo it or to underdo it. It has to be just whole. And I think for me, for it to be just there, when you eat your whole food will provide a packaged nutrient diet right there, you know, and our bodies absorb a range of vitamins, of minerals, and of antioxidants that work together to protect our health. So unprocessed food, we eliminate all of that. Anything that is over the counter or anything that stays long in the shelf, we don't want that. We go on to your health food. I mean, you could just parboil, because sometimes not all raw food are good for everyone. Again, that's another tricky one there. So maybe just to steam the meal there, and you can just enjoy it as a snack, you know. So you compensate a parboiled carrot that still has some crunchiness in it, or you could have a raw carrot, you know, if you prefer. And you keep a journal at all times. That I cannot emphasize that any better. Supplements can even weaken the treatment that you are taking, you know, or weaken your healing process. So try and be able to have a nourished body, a nourished body by having on your plate, and not a huge plate, on your plate, half of the plate, rather it become a non-starchy vegetable, become very colorful, more like rainbows, you know. And then another half, you make it into a quarter. That's where your protein can go. And then another quarter, that's where your starchy vegetables can go, or your whole grain. So you become very playful with your plate. It becomes very colorful at all times, you know. Some carrots, green beans, some corn there for starch, you know, a baked chicken if it's not pan fried right there. And yes, that is it, you know. Health matters, and we want you to know that you matter to us at SAWOPA. Hence, we continue to give such informative talks, or should I say presentation about what we eat. Thank you very much. That is Thongs from Zealous Movement.